different sort of circumstances in the sense that that was such a huge moment in the title-winning season, that particular week for Liverpool, and Manchester City were not particularly at their best at that time.
For obvious reasons. Similar like Real Madrid last season, they had, when we played them last season, City also had a lot of injuries in that part of the season, and that was also the reason why they dropped so many points, because from the moment his players were fit again, and this season they are picking up the points which you expect Pep Guardiola's teams would pick up. So we were in a good place last season when we faced them here at Anfield, that they had many injuries. Injuries we've faced in the last few weeks as well, not as much as they had back then. But now I think maybe Rodri would be unavailable, Kovacic maybe. And for the rest, they're all available. Yeah, that has big impact for every team. And I would say even for Pep, because sometimes we think he can do magic, which he sometimes does, by the way. But too many injuries is even for him not helpful.
What makes him so special, though? Because when you say even Pep and he can do magic, 1,000 games as a manager in charge, huge inspiration to you, those Barcelona teams in the noughties that you admired so much. What is it about him that makes him so good?
That you're always looking forward to watch his team play. So even when you are analyzing, because you're analyzing every opponent, many games of them, it's always nice when you play against his teams, because then you have the privilege to watch 5, 6, 7 games of his team, and you never get bored. At least I never get bored, because his team always have a very good and clear idea in ball possession. They always try to make the people happy. That's not the best English, but it's a joy to watch. Where so many other games, especially currently in football, are not, in my opinion, a joy to watch anymore. It's become more and more time wasting. It's become more and more things that I don't like that much about the game, but which are very good tools to use to make it difficult for other teams if they play against you. So it's a new tactic in football, I would say. But this is something Pep's teams don't do, hardly do, almost don't do. It's just, and of course the Barcelona team was unbelievable. That was hoping that they would play on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So there was one, especially at home, one thing to look forward to in the end of the weekend. And when he went to his other teams, his other clubs, he also invented new things like the inverted fullback. Or it's always something special if you watch a game of one of his teams.
What was your favourite Barcelona team of that time with him?
Yeah, that's not that I think the same one everyone had. So the midfield with Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. I think that was the season when he won the treble. But actually, every team he managed at Barcelona was a joy to watch, and the teams afterwards as well. But yeah, seeing a full Camp Nou at Sunday evening was better than 2, 3, 4 o'clock kickoff in Germany. I think I didn't see that many games of him at Bayern Munich. But yeah, Barcelona was mainly Sunday evening, but a lot of times. So I saw them playing a lot.
What does it say about him, though, not just as a manager, as a coach, but as a person as well, to reach such a milestone and the sacrifices that he would have made to win and achieve what he's done so far?
Yeah. The good thing for him is that he was also a manager at clubs where they won before him and after him. But for me, it's not only about winning, it's also about the style. And that is what, for me, makes him special. So a lot of managers win, but in the style he has won his trophies. That is why he stands out compared to many others, in my opinion. But yeah, I agree with you. You have to do a lot of sacrifices if you have to manage so many games, because I'm now in this job at Liverpool and it's every 3 days almost a game. And a lot of work goes into that. And maybe he's been a little bit, I wouldn't say lucky, but maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, we didn't have to do 250 interviews a week, where we now have to do this. So,
how many have you done so far?
I wonder if there are managers that start their career now, if they will reach 1,000 as well, especially at the level he's worked at, because it's getting more and more and more. Although it was already hard in the period he had to reach the 1,000, was probably already very hard to achieve that, and there's a lot of sacrifices coming with that.
Can you talk to me about Pep Lijnders, because obviously he's there now with Pep Guardiola. I remember Pep Guardiola telling me at the start of the season that he wanted him because of the work that he'd done with Jurgen Klopp here at Liverpool. But he was the one who invited you to Liverpool back in 2017, wasn't it, to a game? That was your first experience of the support and the fan base here that you've spoken about in recent weeks.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of time before that when we met each other at his house in Holland, where we had a 4 or 5 hour talk about football, about exercises, about tactics, about all kind of things, and that was really inspirational for me at that time, and maybe for him as well, but I don't know. But for me, it was inspirational, and we've always stayed in contact afterwards. And one of the things was indeed that he invited me over to watch a game. I went to the training ground, spoke to Julian Ward, who back then did the loans, and I was working at a club where we thought like maybe we can loan a player of them. So yeah, we've always stayed in contact, and I'm not surprised that Pep Guardiola asked him to join him, because he's been so successful here at Liverpool with Jurgen, and as a result of that, Pep probably asked him to help him over there.
But it was one of the things that you spoke about the crowd and the support, because Liverpool in that moment weren't going through it. They were having a bit of a difficult time. And you've spoken about the support of the fans recently, getting you through those difficult moments that you've been through this season.
Yeah. I don't remember actually if they went through a difficult time back then when I visited them, but might be, I don't know. But it's clear that we've didn't have to run a form that is expected of us, or we expected from ourselves. So yeah, then it's always a bit harder, and that's why I was so happy that we also had a few home games, because in that run of form there was only one home game, and that was Manchester United, which till today I found we lost that game mainly because we were unlucky. But yeah, not everybody is agreeing on that, but that's my take on it. And all the other games we had to play away from home, and that has an impact. Still not an excuse, by the way, to lose so many, because we're not used to losing away games as well. But if you then are able to play at home at Anfield, which we did the last 2 games, yeah, that is of course a big help for us, and it's great to feel the support the team has, and I have as well from these fans that have supported us since I'm here.
Can I ask you about Virgil van Dijk, because there's been plenty of opinion that's been said about him and view about him recently. What makes him so special as your captain? In your eyes, he's the best, because captains have different characteristics, personalities. They deal with things in very different ways. Why, in your eyes, is he the best?
Now, I've picked my captains at my former clubs where the age of the players were much younger. Maybe not completely because they were already the leader of the team, but I'm hoping that could help them to become a leader of the team. But with Virgil, it's so clear that he's the leader of this team. When you walk through the AXA over here, or when we start the training session, you can just hear him, you can feel him, that he's our leader. And you can hear that and you can feel that. So yes, because he's already been so important for this club for so many years. But I don't think I've had many captains that were so vocal, so loud as he is. And of course for the player he is, but he's been a very good captain for me, and I think for this club since he became the captain of this club.
He puts himself forward every time, doesn't he? Win, lose or draw, he will put himself out there.
Yeah, which doesn't mean he always plays a 10 out of 10. which we are actually used of him. So he set the bar 10 out of 10. And when he has a 9 out of 10, he gets maybe sometimes criticized as well. And maybe he should see that as a compliment, because I think other players will get compliments for a 9 out of 10. But he gets criticized for a 9 out of 10. I think there were one or two games I think he's had similar form to last season, but there were 1 or 2 moments this season where he could have done better defensively. And he got criticized by that straight away, which is maybe a compliment, which he maybe should see as a compliment, because that's where he set the bar for himself.
Lastly, is it 2 title contenders going head to head on Sunday, in your opinion?
Now, if you look at the current league table, it's clear. I think they are 6 points ahead of City, 7 points ahead of us. But when there were 10 games to go, when we were leading by 8 or 10 points last season, it didn't feel completely safe to me yet, although the outside world thought it was already by far done, but it didn't feel safe to me yet. Maybe also because back then we were in the second half of the season already struggling a little bit. Not everyone noticed, but I felt it already a little bit. That it was harder and harder for us to win a game of football, where Arsenal at this moment of time only conceded 3 goals, I think. I've only lost once against us, by the way. If I'm correct, only lost once. Yeah. So at this moment of time, it's not for me about looking at the league table. It's just trying to win as many games as you can, and give yourself the best position you can be in. And definitely 2 very good teams are going to play against each other. And what the future will bring, we will see.